from someone who you might know, Venomous Fat Man. He's done a couple video series relating to gaming. He also interviewed John Rambo recently. His question is this: Hey Phil, here's something I really want to know. What do you think about people who break street dates on games? But do you think that breaking street dates on any video game is wrong no matter what, even if the person is not putting up videos or streams online? Well, there's a couple exceptions. The exceptions would obviously be if you're a reviewer or you're working for gaming media and they give you an advanced copy of the game. That's different. I mean, that's perfectly fine. But I think that any illegal means of getting games is wrong. I'm sorry, but that's just my feeling. You know, unlike some of these things that come out that are pirated, such as music or movies, I think that games right now are on the up and up, and there's a lot of people who are putting a lot of effort into these, and it's a new medium, and a lot of people, you know, you're basically robbing them if you download a game. Perfect example here, and this really fucking pissed me off, was when Super Street Fighter 4 came out earlier this year. I knew of certain people who had found a leak. Basically, the game had been either released as a review copy or someone had actually found a copy of the game ahead of time. They uploaded it to the internet, and people were downloading the game and playing the game weeks ahead of time, and they were like, oh, well, I'm going to buy the game when it comes out anyway, so this is okay, this is acceptable. It's not. Under no circumstances is stealing like that allowed. For, you know, you might say that the game medium right now is kind of the exception because they didn't really go through that transformative period, but I am a strong supporter of buying games and not being an asshole pirate. And so, you know, Venomous Fat Man says, what do you feel about, you know, people who break street date? Number one, anyone who pirates a game is I completely disagree with that, 100%. Number two, now if you're just talking about breaking street date, meaning, oh, I work at Walmart and I fucking took a copy of Black Ops 2 weeks ahead of time, that's wrong too, because you're stealing. It's very possible that stuff like that can happen in the future. I don't believe in breaking street date. I think it's wrong. I think that everyone should have a fair shake. One other thing that I really don't agree with, which unfortunately did happen with Super Street Fighter 4, is the game developers deciding to give promotional copies of the games to the top tournament players. So for example, I know for a fact that Justin Wong had a copy of Super Street Fighter 4 before anyone else. Why? Justin Wong was the national champion at the time. Why would you give him an unfair advantage by giving him a copy of the game ahead of time? Your guess is as good as mine. It just doesn't seem to make sense. You would think that if you're trying to propagate that the common person's going to buy your game, you would probably not keep these people, these elite few who are on the top, on the top. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Just from a gamer's perspective, like, I was pissed when I found out that he was on GameTrailers.com, he was playing the game, he was doing, before the game was even out, he was showing people how to do combos and strategies. I'm like, why does he know this? Why does he have the game? It doesn't make sense. He shouldn't have the game. He should have to wait like everyone else, buy the game so we're all on an equal playing field, and that's just my opinion. But it was kind of funny because it ends up that he lost at EVO anyway because he decided not to play the game and to practice for the Ultimate Gamer, which he failed at miserably. But and then on Saturday, John's going to be coming over. But here's the thing: there's a catch this week. We possibly have an opportunity to get our hands on a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 early, and it's through a favor basically. And we're not, you know, it's not breaking street date or anything because we're not buying the game or anything like that. We're just getting an advanced copy, and then, you know, then we'll be legally purchasing our copies of the game on Tuesday when the game is released.